Hello, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today to watch this training with me. My name is Amber Ludwig, and I'm really honored to have you here for what I think is a problem that all entrepreneurs really face at many stages of their career. And we're really going to address what to charge, where to find your clients, and how to close the sale. Because the reality is if you're not on point with what to charge, then first of all, you may be charging too little, which is really going to undervalue yourself. You'll start to sort of resent the work in a way, and you can't possibly sustain your message if you're giving all of your work away for free, right? But if you charge too much, then people aren't going to buy, and that's not going to help you sustain the message either. So we really have to address that problem so that you're able to ask for the sale more confidently and thereby close more sales. We're going to touch a little bit on where to find clients. You know, I could spend days telling you how to find clients on social media and through networking and all of these other methods. I am going to share some with you today. And in terms of how to close the sale, this is a really big one for entrepreneurs too, because a lot of people have a really tough time saying their prices. They have a hard time asking for the order. It's a very uncomfortable process, right? So hopefully I can shed some light on this based on my own experience of how I made the sales process easier for me, and then give you some ideas to implement into your own business. I really encourage you to stick around till the end of this 30-minute training session, because I'm going to tell you how you can get the chance to win a free 30-minute coaching session with me. And this is not something that I offer very often, but when I was really sitting down with, you know, what I wanted to say today and how I could really offer value and give back to you, I just really wanted to make sure that I could over-deliver in value and then have an opportunity for one of you to really sit down with me one-on-one and dig deeper into what's really holding you back from excelling in your business. I really encourage you to take out a pen and piece of paper here with me today, and we're just going to dive right in on what to charge. Now, gosh, this is so tricky. I am going to talk about a lot of different products and services and different price points, but what to charge is like such a tough one, because if you're just starting out, you can't charge as much as somebody who's really experienced, but you also need to make money, and what does it fit in with what everybody else is charging, and you still want to be competitive. I totally get it. And actually, one of the places that I always start when I'm trying to figure out what to price a product or a service is I just do some research. And I look out there, let's say that I'm selling websites, okay? I'll actually Google WordPress website services or something like that, or custom website designs, and I'll look at what other developers are charging. Now, everybody has different packages for websites. So some do more of like a custom design, some will integrate a pre-made theme, some will add in an opt-in box, some won't, or contact pages or search engine optimization. There's so many different options. So I try to find the people that are offering something as close to my package as possible. And I try to find a good half dozen of people at least that are offering a similar package. But then I don't stop there. I really peruse their website and I look at their social proof. You know, their testimonials. Are their clients happy? Are they getting results? And are those testimonials recent or are they ancient? So I'm really looking at how established are they? Do I feel like they have experience? I'm looking at their portfolio to see if I think their designs are worth what they're charging. And as the expert, you will know these things. So you'll be able to look at somebody's service and think, wow, that's not a very appealing website design, and I can do way better than that, so maybe I should charge a little bit more. So I always start by doing market research, but then I have to kind of tap in and really ask myself, what is fair to charge? Now, I believe that you always have to over-deliver in everything that you're doing if you want to really sustain your business, grow it, and keep a following or your clients long-term. If you over-deliver, they'll feel that they are getting a lot of value no matter what you're charging, right? So always start with that value in mind and really think to yourself, what am I really offering here? Now, if you're just getting started, let's say that you have a coaching practice and you're brand spanking new, you have no clients, no real history, maybe you were certified, maybe you weren't, maybe it's just a passion of yours that based on some experience you had, you wanted to start this business. it all will vary your price. A lot of coaches will start somewhere between $50 and $100 per hour. I think that, if you are certified, then you can charge more than if you have absolutely no experience, you're not certified, and you're just kind of opening up shop and trying to figure it out along the way. The reality is that your pricing is solely based on your experience a lot of times and the value that you can deliver. So if you have gone to school for, your coaching, then you can obviously charge more for that. Now, I really feel that it's true for any service that you're offering. Websites, what kind of value are you offering there? If you are offering a home study course, what kind of value and experience are you offering there? So, but back to the coaching sessions, you can usually start about $50 to $100 per hour, but you've seen coaches out there making as much as $1,000 an hour, $2,000 an hour, and it's because they've gotten results. They have experience, they have social proof, they have their process down, and they're seeing transformation. Once you are at that place in your business where you're actually getting people results, and then you're getting testimonials from them, which is social proof that you can offer value, you can have a change, well, then you can keep increasing your prices. I remember when I started my company back in 2007, I started charging $35 an hour to make website changes or help you with basically anything that you needed that I was capable of doing. It was just 35 bucks an hour. But I had absolutely no credibility in the marketplace. I did have experience, but nobody knew my name. They didn't know if I was a credible source or not, and they were going out on a limb with me. Now, because they were going out on a limb with me, I wanted to give a little and meet them in the middle, so sort of like a compromise. The person that I was working with before, where I had 2 years of experience building websites and doing landing pages and email newsletters and online marketing and search engine optimization. I was very experienced when I started my company, but again, nobody knew that. And the company that I was working for before I started my own company, he was charging $165 an hour. So I knew that's what was possible, but I was on my own just starting, so I started low. I started at $35 an hour. And that was after really checking out the marketplace and seeing, gosh, it was just all over the place with numbers. So it was really hard for me to figure out where to start. But I had to check in with myself and say, what is it really worth? I mean, I haven't taken on my own clients before. I've serviced other people's clients, but this is all very new for me. So I had to charge something that I felt comfortable with. And I ended up drastically undervaluing myself, but that happens. And I was okay with that, knowing that I would grow. So then the question becomes, well, how often do I raise my prices, and at what point can I reevaluate that? I usually look at my pricing once a year, twice a year, depending on what I'm doing. So if it's a service that I've been offering for a long time, I'll probably look at it once a year, and sometimes I increase my prices, sometimes I don't. I'm at a place right now in my business where I'm really comfortable with my rates. I could be charging double what I'm charging, but I don't want to do that because then I might lose out on the clientele that I'm servicing right now. And I love my clients so much that I don't want to shut them out just because, I have a bigger value and I want to charge more. So you're really going to have to kind of do a trial and error a little bit. Sometimes you'll raise your prices and nobody's going to pay for your services anymore, and then all of a sudden the light bulb goes off. Okay, this is probably a little bit more than the market can bear. And I have done that testing in my own business, and you do sacrifice a few prospects that come along the way until you really hit that sweet spot of what people are willing to pay when they're going out on a limb. Now, as you gain new clients, well, gosh, then they see your value all day long and they know it's worth it, right? So you also have to go a little bit on that high end, knowing that once they just get a taste of your value and of your work, they're going to want more. So, it really is kind of a give and take. But like I said in the very beginning, it really is based off of your experience. Another thing that I'll add is my signature course coming up, the Authentic Messenger course that I'll be launching in March. I knew when I sat down to create that course, it's a tremendous value. I mean, it's ridiculous, the value that I'm going to be putting into this 8-week course. It's going to be everything that I've got. Now, if you look at all of my years of experience in working with all kinds of people and doing collaborations and joint ventures and huge product launches and everything I've had experience in, and I'm putting that into a course. Well, what would that be worth to somebody? Well, I think it's worth a whole lot, but that doesn't mean that somebody who's brand new to me, doesn't know me or my work or my experience or my value, that they're going to see the value up front. So I can't shy them off by charging $2,000 for this course when I think it's well beyond the value of that price. So then I had to think to myself, okay, well, what can the market really bear? What are other people charging for this type of a course? And it really varies, anywhere from, I would say, $200 up to $2,700. Just this morning on Facebook, I saw somebody do a $2,700 course. And I would say that that's at the high end, but you know what? She's making tons of sales to her past clients who already know the value, so then it becomes a little bit easier. But there really was this huge range that I could have charged, and I really sat with it and I thought, you know, what is the purpose of this course? The purpose of this course is to really help people establish a really solid structure for their online business, to make sure that their online platform is established, they're making sales, they have a following on social media. At the end, we're getting real results. And then they can graduate to the second course I'm offering in the summer and the third course in the fall. And I realized that as I get them results in that first course, after they see the value, then I'm able to charge more in the summer course and try to make up that difference in value that I wasn't charging up front. This is what happens in business, is sometimes you have to go out on a limb and compromise and meet in the middle for your potential customers. And if it's rooted in value, here again, they're going to come back again and again and be your repeat customers for life. So when you're just starting out, it may feel like really challenging for you to only, you know, charge $75 an hour or $50 an hour, whatever price point you think is really fair. But just know that in a couple of months, 6 months after you've had some coaching clients, once you have some experience under your belt, you can increase those prices, showcase that people are getting results, and that's what's really going to propel you forward in your business. And now I'm just going to give you some really quick average price points for some other products, just so that you have something to go off of as you're creating your products this year. But then I really want to move on into how to find clients. So let's talk about ebooks. If you're trying to sell an ebook, I'm actually in the process of taking the 6-hour workshop that I did on the 6 pillars to build your business online. I did the 6-hour workshop, and I'm transcribing all of the videos into little ebooks, and I'm going to sell the ebooks individually and then as a package. And I'm literally going to sell them for less than $10 a piece, because I want to make sure the purpose of those ebooks, it's not to, you know, make millions and retire. The purpose of those ebooks, I know, is just an introduction to me and my value. And if I over deliver in those ebooks and it's packed with knowledge, people are going to start searching for what else I can offer them. Well, then I can offer them, you know, the 15 hours of video in the Authentic Business Success Summit, or I can offer them, you know, my monthly coaching program. I can offer them other coaching or other services and copywriting and all of these other things. So just be really clear in your mind of what's the entry point. And sometimes we have this desire to charge a little bit more because we need money right now, you know, and we really need to get some cash flow to invest back into our business to sustain the message. But you also have to be really clear of, should this be more of an introductory product, or is this something a little bit more advanced that warrants me charging a little bit more? So try to have those conversations, and if you ever need support, want to bounce something off of me, my door is always open, because I know, especially in the beginning, it's kind of like challenging of this trial and error. So ebooks, I usually price those pretty low or just give them away for free. But I really believe in having like a multi-tier pricing level. So something that's really dirt cheap, something that's maybe in the $30 range, the $90 range, the $200 range, and so forth. If you have different price points available for people and different products and services, well, then you're going to be able to appeal to kind of everybody. And I hate that idea of opening up the shop and you want to work for everybody in the whole world. I'm very clear that my services aren't for everybody. But for the people that it is for, I want to make sure that I can really appeal to them at different price points based on their budget, not shut anybody out, if that makes sense. So let's talk about what are some $97 type products that you could create. Well, I would say like a short video series or a short audio series would be perfect for that. Something like a 3 10-minute videos or 15-minute videos on a certain topic. You could record that in an afternoon, package it up, and sell it on your website as a package. And I mean, that would be a great product to feature. Also with your audios, you could create like a short little like a manual or a workbook to go along with it. But that's a perfect type of product for the $97 range. You're going to start seeing a lot more $27 products out on the marketplace. In fact, I have my own, which I'll be talking just briefly about as an example here in a little bit. But it's a monthly coaching or monthly training program, really, where I have offered 1-hour training video every single month. Every month I pick a topic and I deliver it to you, and it's a really affordable way for people to get that higher level coaching and training from me without paying my one-on-one coaching prices. And so that's just a $27 a month program, and there are lots of those out there around the $27 range because we've tested, a lot of other marketers have tested that is what the market is really willing to pay for some sort of a monthly program, at least to test the waters and again see if that value is really there. So let's talk about something more in the $200 range. Well, if you have a whole series of videos, like for example a telesummit, a lot of telesummits are free to access the live sessions, but then you pay for all of the recordings at $197. So something that's much more in depth, you know, I talked about my 8-week course. So that's 8 hours of video, and that's going to be $197 plus the time to engage in questions and answers in the Facebook group and, you know, all of the other things that I'll be adding into that course. But a lot of longer live courses or going like online courses, whether it's a 4-week online teleseminar course or an 8-week course, that's going to be right in your $197 range. And again, anytime that you're wondering what to charge, go out there and do research about it and see. You know, you could even Google what types of products are roughly $200 online. I mean, I haven't, you know, proven that that's the exact keyword phrase, but you just have to do the research to see what the market can bear in your industry, and then maybe price down a little bit if you're new, and then you can ramp up over time. So I think that's more than enough to talk about what to charge. Of course, leave a comment below and let me know any questions that you have, and I'm happy to come back and answer those as well. But I really want to move into how do we find the clients? And I talked about this in great detail on that monthly training program that's $27 a month. If you're watching this on my website at amberludwig.com, just above this video you'll see a tab that's called Work With Me, and if you hover on Work With Me, you'll see monthly training, and you can click on that. But the first video in this series, it was an hour long, all about how to immediately get some income flowing in your business, because even if you are established, you may experience some dry spells. You put all of your eggs in one basket, you try some new product launch and it doesn't go the way you wanted, or you had to let go your top project manager and you had to scale back on your clients in order to try to keep up with that transition. There are all kinds of things that can happen in a business that can really stop your cash flow, even if it's for a short period. So that video is really about all the different ways that you can make money right now, and we really talked about how to find clients. And like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here because I could talk for days on this topic for sure, but a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. One is, don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn. LinkedIn it just constantly blows me away every time I spend time on LinkedIn, and I just did this yesterday for a client who asked me to do some social media promotion for him. And what I did was I typed up a message, like an email, and I sent it to all of his contacts in his LinkedIn account. And honestly, it kind of blew me away a little bit at the response. Everyone's like, yeah, I'll help. I'll share this on my social media for you, and I'll help with your promotion. And I'll write a blog post about it, and I'll do this and I'll do that. I mean, just helping, this guy, just because we sent out a LinkedIn email. In fact, it got me thinking that I wonder if your conversion rates are going to be better out of LinkedIn than sometimes your own email subscribers and your email list. Definitely worth testing. But don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn and sending people messages to reach out and strike up that conversation. This really is why social media is such a powerful tool, because never before have you been able to just so easily click a button and communicate with people all over the world and add value to their lives. If you want more clients, it's all going to come from having conversations where you're adding value to people's lives. And if you add enough value, they're going to give you value back in the form of money. And that's the cycle. Sometimes we have this blockage over what to charge, and am I greedy for wanting to charge $250 for a coaching session? No, it's not greed, it's an exchange of value. If you are offering a value that is worth $250, then you shouldn't feel greedy or guilty when somebody pays you that amount to get that value from you. You don't have to work for free. Nobody's expecting that. And this relationship with money is a really important one for us to really look at ongoing, because if you don't feel that you're worth a certain amount, or you feel guilty or whatever it is, you're going to have a really hard time growing your business. So that's a whole other conversation that we can have. But LinkedIn, I would definitely go there. Forums is another great way to strike up conversations and add value. For example, if you go to Google, you could type in something like relationship forums. And forums, they're all over the place for any topic you can think of. And these are people just posing questions. Oh, my boyfriend was sleeping with my best friend and I don't know what to do. And you, as the relationship expert, even if you're just beginning, you have an opinion about that. You could say, well, so-and-so, I'm really sorry to hear that. You must be feeling a lot of pain. So always try to put yourself in that person's shoes, because if the reader realizes that you can really understand their pain in whatever industry it is, now you have their attention. So if you address their pain point and say, gosh, I really get that you must be feeling this way. Now, you don't have to say, I know exactly how you feel, because you don't. So I can't stand it when people say that to me. But if you can really identify, gosh, you really must be feeling blah, 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 that's going to make them immediately pay attention to you. Then you could say, as a relationship coach, I work with people on topics just like this. And a few things I would suggest you to do are, number one, don't engage in a conversation with your boyfriend right away, because otherwise emotions are high. He'll think you're accusing him and this and that and the other thing. Number two, sit down and write him a letter and tell him how you feel, whatever your advice is. But if you follow the kind of format of, I understand, here's what I do, here are 1 to 3 tips that I can give you, whew, you've got them. Now and you can even say, I invite you to reach out to me with any other questions and would be happy to help further. Something like that. If you just imagine if you spend an hour a day doing this on forums, on social media, if you spend an hour a day engaging with people and offering them just a quick little tip, quick little message, imagine how fast you could grow your client base. Okay, so my big tip about where do I find these clients, it's going to be on social media, and I'm going to tell you to spend 30 minutes a day, whatever you think you can spare. And by the way, if you really need income and if you really want to grow this thing, find the time, right? So those are some tips to get you going. Again, I encourage you to look at the monthly training program. In that first training video, I go into an hour about how to create some immediate income in your business. But I want to move forward now into how to close the sale. And this is probably the scariest part for entrepreneurs, because again, number one, they're nervous of saying the price, right? Oh, how much is coaching? It's $150 a session. For some reason, for some people, saying that that price is just, they'd rather run over their leg with a car than have to say that out loud. But then the second part to that is asking for that sale. And this is where most entrepreneurs go wrong, is that they say the price, but then by then they're so freaked out that they don't ask for the sale. And they just kind of like assume that the client is going to just, yes, let me pay you lots of money. That's what I want to do. You know, no, you have to ask. You have to find some question. Now, the question doesn't have to be, would you like to place that order today? It doesn't have to be that if that doesn't feel authentic for you, if that doesn't feel right for you. Find some other question, though, that asks for the order in a way that you feel comfortable, and that only you can answer that. But I will tell you some of the things that I have done in my business to really ease that transition for me, because when I first got started, absolutely I had issues with this, you know, because when I first started my business, I didn't have the right mindset. I didn't have the best relationship with money. I was $30,000 in debt between student loans and bad choices in the beginning of my early 20s. And so I was really coming from a place of lack. And anytime I had to talk to a potential client, I felt bad charging them prices, even though I knew it was so far lower than my competitors. But I just didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel like the value was there because I hadn't done this on my own before. And so there were a few things that I did that really eased that tension for me, but then all of a sudden it worked so well that even after my mindset was improved, after I paid off all of my debt, I wasn't living in lack anymore. I still use the process because it works so well. So I'm going to share that with you today. The first thing that I did was I created a service menu, and many of you watching have seen this service menu, but what I did was I created a document. Now it's like 20 pages long, but I created a document that has my company logo and like headings, and it's formatted and it has pictures inside and all kinds of stuff, and it became like a sort of a brochure of my website, of my services. So the first page is an introduction about how that my service menu is set up like a menu because there's no one project that fits everybody. And I talk about how, you know, everything is a la carte. We have payment options. Then I'd have my bio there in case somebody is new to me. And then I literally go through and I describe in detail all of my services. The first 8 pages describes our custom website development option, which is, you know, we talk about, oh, we'll add in your content pages and search engine optimization and Google Analytics, and we'll do your custom design, and here are samples of our past work. So go into great detail about that. And guess what the beautiful part of this is? That document is selling the process, the implementation. It's selling our value the whole way through. So this document became sort of like a salesperson for me, so I didn't have to do all of the selling. Then it goes through and talks about copywriting and search engine optimization and social media and all of the different services that my company offers, prices. And then at the very end, I say, so a sample package that somebody might pick is this service, this one, and this service. And this would be the total, but if you divide it into 6 monthly payment plans or 12 monthly payment plans with no interest, then it's only $258 a month. So the next step is for you to reach out, let's set up a call and talk, and then I have 2 pages of testimonials at the end. That document is packed with value, and it goes in great detail explaining the process, the pricing, how everything works. When a prospect comes to me and they say, hey, I have this project and I was wondering, what's your quote to do a website? I get these emails all day, every day. And the newbie entrepreneur may say, oh, it's $2,500 and there goes the sale because you didn't add the value, right? You have to add value if you want to close sales. You have to prove that to them. So instead, I say, oh, I'd love to hear more about your project. I've attached my service menu for your review. And as soon as you review that, I'd like to invite you to a 30-minute complimentary session where we can talk about your project, get to know each other, and see if it's a fit or not. Then, if I haven't heard back from them, I follow up within 2 business days. That's another mistake entrepreneurs make, is they're not good at the follow-up, and they feel like, well, I don't want to bug that person. But the reality is, and you know this very well, people are busy and they forget, or they had every intention of reviewing their service menu and it just got behind schedule. This is just a friendly reminder of, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to check in and make sure that you got that service menu that you requested. I really am a stickler about making sure everybody receives the information they request from me. Let me know any questions, and we'll go from there. Just a friendly invitation to touch base. And I can't tell you how many times I've touched base with somebody like that, and they said, oh, I did mean to reach out to you. Let's set up a call, and it resulted in a sale. Now, I do invite them to a 30-minute coaching call, and I realize I'm going to go a bit over on time here, but just by a few minutes, so thank you for your patience. But what I do is, after that email, I invite them to a 30-minute complimentary call. It used to be an hour. Okay, for most of the time that I've been in business, I used to give them an hour, or I just didn't say a time frame. And all the time, it would always go an hour, and it was just so time consuming. And I know that yes, it's going to result in a sale, but it was still so time consuming. And I realized that in these conversations, so much of it was just conversation to have conversation, and it wasn't anything that was adding value to the business owner. So I experimented by saying, let's do a 30-minute complimentary session. And what do you know? Those sessions are on point, they're focused, they're energetic, they're you know, they result in a sale. So I have found that in my business, a 30-minute call is the perfect amount of time to get to know each other, answer their questions, add a lot of value, and most importantly, really paint the picture for what it's going to be like if they hire me and my team to work on their project. What's the end result going to look like? And I'm really listening to the client on what they say they need. So for example, if a client says, oh, I'm just so not a tech person, well, obviously, I'm going to bring that up multiple times throughout the call, and I'll say, oh, you know, and I know you said you're not a tech person, and I feel like you're really going to love the fact that we do this training, complete training for clients, and after the website launches, we even have a 3-month support period built in, so that as you kind of get, you know, used to your website and start making changes, we're here to support you for that full 3 months, you know, free of charge. And so these types of things will make the customer feel more comfortable. I'm painting the picture for what it's going to be like. I'm adding the value. And the beautiful thing, to tie this all up into a neat bow for you, is that the prospect emails and wants a quote. I send them the service menu. Then we have this call. But see, by now they already know the pricing. So once they're on the call, I already know they're okay with the pricing, and now we just need to answer any questions that they have and let them come to me with what they want to do. And 9 times out of 10 on that call, they say, well, then I'd like to move forward, and yes, if we could do the 8-month payment plan, that'd be great. So this service menu is a great tool you could consider using in your own business, even if you are only offering coaching. Talk about your coaching options. You know, is it a 12-month commitment, a 3-month commitment? How many calls are there? What can they expect? What's the process like? What results have you gotten people? Any testimonials that you've received? You can absolutely go into detail on that. If you don't want to do the service menu, cool, you don't have to. It's your business and you can do whatever you want. That's the beautiful thing. But go out and research what other coaches are doing. I know that a lot of coaches are giving a 1-hour complimentary session. That seems like an awful lot to be giving away for free. So be mindful of if that free session is really, you know, converting you to sales or not. Maybe you say the first discount or the first session is half price. Then you kind of condition them into investing in your services, but maybe, you know, you're meeting them in the middle, you're doing that sort of compromise. I think that the last tips around closing the sale is you have to be confident. Fake it till you make it if you're not confident. Find a way to get belief in your value. And every time you go to a sales call or you're writing your sales copy on your website, tap into that belief. Why are you here? Why do you have value? What's that really about? What's your why? How are you going to give back and be of service to others? These are very critical things when you're writing the scary parts of your sales copy or when you're asking somebody if they would like to work with you. And then the second thing is you just have to ask. And that's kind of the hard thing. Sometimes you just have to blurt the question out there and zip it. Be quiet, let them think. Because the tendency might be, because it's awkward for you, you want to fill up that void space, that thinking time for your prospect. You want to ask for the sale and then, oh, because we could do this, this, and this, or you start to go in a downward spiral and start to talk your clients out of it. So the best thing to do is just to get it out there and then be quiet and let your prospect really think through if this is the right choice for them and come to you. So hopefully all of that gave you some insight into my process, gave you some good takeaways. I did promise you that if you waited until the end of this video that I would let you know a chance where you could win a free 30-minute coaching session with me where we can dig deeper into any of these areas, and that is by leaving a comment below after this live session. This is not going to be available as an opportunity for people that watch the recording. So if you are live on this video right now, go below and make a comment and let me know your top takeaway from this video and also a question that you have based on everything that we talked about, because there was so much more I could have said and I already went a little over here, but make a question below if you have one and I'm happy to engage with you and discuss further on the comment area below. And after you're done with that, if you can do me a big favor and share this page on your social media accounts if you think that your audience would find value out of it. Really want to give back today, and I really want to impact a lot of people, so I appreciate your support. And when you make your comment below, by the end of today, since I'm not going to offer the replay to anybody until tomorrow, by the end of today, I am going to look at who submitted a comment after this live session, and I will let the winner know, and I will announce the winner also on my weekly newsletter on Thursday. I want to thank you so much for your time and hanging with me as I went a little bit over. I hope you got value out of it, and I can't wait to see you next week. Next Tuesday, we are live again, and we're going to be talking about the deadliest mistakes you're making on social media, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that one. Thanks again.